Dave Meltzer said that age and salary are reportedly the main reasons for the main roster releases. So Dave Meltzer says, essentially, the cuts are being made because a lot of, a lot of it has to do with, Brian, to do with guys and women, getting up in age, and they're looking at people who they're not going to use well compared, to their salary going forward. That's what Dave has to say. Heel Lucy says Dave Meltzer's lying again, -5 stars. Okay, he deserves that. And then Wrestling Soup goes, Cora Jade is getting too old. Who does Dave think he is? Anthony Cumia. Oh, hilarious line there from, I'm assuming Mish. I don't know who runs the account. But here we go. Dave expands a little bit on it. He says, many of those cut were perceived as not working hard in training. And if you don't work hard in training, there's so many people who do. And, at this point, actually, if the feeling is, you're not working hard in training, I saw the term lazy. Where did you see the term lazy? So someone wrote down on like Gigi Dolan's report card, put a big red marker. Nope, F, lazy. What do you mean you seen lazy? Someone texted you the word lazy? You mean you're reporting, Dave? I seen lazy when I talked to my therapist. Brian, right? What do you mean I saw the term lazy? Where? You got a memo? Hey, these lazy... these lazy got fired. Who's Dave? You're a liar, bro. The ones who are lazy are gonna be gone, and the ones who didn't stand out are gonna be gone. Honestly, guys, I think some of it has to do with people who, if you stir up and you get injured and you get paid a lot and you fucking things like this, I think that more factors into it. Whatever. Some of the NXT, they weren't working hard in training. I don't know about all that. Dave, I don't know if I don't know if you're the arbiter of lazy here now. And so Gigi Dolan responded. So we took a look at Cora Jade's response, which added on to this. And what Cora Jade said, we focused on that in WWE News, but what she said essentially was like this, what Gigi's saying, but also I got body shamed by my bosses, co-workers, fans, etc. Taking a shot at the WWE universe and a shot at, I guess, Shawn Michaels, and I don't know who are her bosses, Matt Bloom, I don't fucking know, right? That was in WWE News because it was lending credence to what Gigi Dolan, credibility to what Gigi Dolan's saying here. So she also buried Meltzer, but we're focusing on Gigi here because she's directly responding to Wrestle Talk and Meltzer. And so Gigi says, when I wasn't traveling to work for either of the two companies I was working for, I trained. So again, she was working for TNA and WWE/NXT. You know what I mean? For either of the two companies I was working for, I trained very hard 3 to 4 days a week, bumping my ass off and doing cardio drills with one of the best, toughest coaches I've worked with, and worked out every single day with live events every other weekend. So yeah, I don't want to hear this, LOL. The way my body feels says otherwise. Fucking dummy Dave. I saw the word lazy when I was scrolling Twitter, and the best guys, Tony Khan.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
I'm sorry, Priscilla Kelly. Gigi. What am I supposed to call you? So yeah, she just shuts that down, and then again, Cora Jade's like, yeah, that plus I got body shamed, which is crazy, but like if that happened, in 2025, if they're like, or was it Vince? Get some new tits, pal. Sorry. You got to get new tits if you want to fly on this plane. The girls are like, we're good. Anyways, Meltzer says there were reportedly non-wrestling things and certain things that happened that played a factor into Riley Osborne's WWE release. So Meltzer said his situation was one of those where it had to do with, so it had nothing to do with them like releasing all of Chase U and then creating a new fucking Chase U with Thea Hale and Andre Chase, but it has to do with this thing Meltzer's about to say. His situation was one of those where, it had to do with non-wrestling things. There was just, not political. That's not the right word, but there were just certain things that happened with him, and it kind of led to them taking him off television. But talent-wise, he's there. He's good. He's someone that AEW should at least look at, take a chance at. He never really got to show it there. Well, he was in TNA and shit, bro. You would have marked out for those matches if you watched them, Dave, but you don't watch TNA. I always was impressed with him. And when I was asking people there, it was like, oh, yeah, he's really good. He was not cut over talent. See, Dave is like talent to him means like you can do wrestling moves good. You can do like flips really cool. An Ultimate X match. That's what Riley Osborne was in. He was in the Ultimate X match. But he's like, I was always impressed with him. And when I was asking people there, it was like, oh, yeah, he's really good. So Dave now lobbying to get this guy a job in AEW. This is how this fucking clown affects the business. Now, I don't care if Riley Osborne, one way or the other, goes to AEW. But this is literally doing AEW simp work.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
And we're going to I'm going to leave this in the bookmarks because we're going to touch on this a little more Wednesday. Okay? And I don't want to forget. So, yeah, Meltzer just says, those were perceived, weren't working hard in training, blah, blah, blah. Meltzer talks about Braun Strowman, and he says he is the one that the salary was high. One person told me that they felt he was paid more than how they were using him, I guess is the best way to put it. But salary played a part in this. Yeah, I mean, I think Dave's probably on about that, but anyone could guess that, right? Like, you don't need anyone to tell you, well, they're not using him, and he was in, like, the 1 milli club, I think, before, and then they brought him back. So where is he now? I'm sure, he's still a little bit of a Vince guy here, and he gets paid a shitload, and they don't really use him, and they did a good, like, I'm not mad at this one because they smashed Jacob over using Braun here. So I thought that was good. I thought he was going to feud with the Wyatt Six. I think a lot of people thought that, and it just didn't happen, I guess. And they just didn't, they're going to do cuts every year. So guys like Braun, hell, me and Husey were talking about that a while ago. We were saying Braun, Miz, Sonya Deville. We were saying these names, right? Bringing them up. So Dave's probably spot on about that. So based Meltzer, we'll give him an E flute there for just saying, okay, one person told him. All right. I mean, whatever. It's what it is. So Dave Meltzer was literally at this match, but not at WrestleMania. This is a fact. Okay, so I made my own segment here, and this is a fact, and I followed up on the post and said he literally said that Randy Orton, we covered this on the show, Dave literally said that Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry was as good as this match, and that the WWE audience would have ate this matchup and loved it. Actually, he implied that, I actually worded this wrong, because he implied that Randy Orton versus Hendry wasn't as good as this match. He was like, well, Randy should be able to go in there with a broomstick or even a blow-up doll. I mean, Suzuki, the WWE fans would have loved it. He literally said that shit. Here's the match. Here's highlights from it. Minoru Suzuki versus Yoshihiko DDT Universal title. DDT goes Las Vegas 2025. This is literally Rob Lowe style, where Dave was instead of at WrestleMania watching this match.
It's a wonder Yoshihiko hasn't been busted.
The fuck is this music? We're called E-drones all the time. Federales? Is this better than Hendry and Orton? Tell me the truth. Dave was in the crowd here. You might as well just watch a kid pillow fight with a fucking tree. Like, what is this? And Dave was in the crowd, and he said that, if it was a match, I mean, the WWE fans would have ate this up. That was exactly what he said about this match. And he was here, and he wasn't at Mania, and he was there Vegas weekend, and he said that the rumors around, well, I wasn't there, but I heard that it was very like, oh, Triple H is cool, and Tony Khan's not cool, and this stuff just isn't cool. Gee, Dave, the stuff you don't like isn't cool. Gee, Dave, adults and even children don't think this is cool, and girls don't think this is cool.
Yoshihiko hasn't been busted open here.
Oh my God. You guys, did they give the doll color? Oh my God, chat. Gee, Dave, I wonder why people don't think this shit is cool.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
I wonder why Joe Hendry's in fucking one of the top mobile games on planet Earth, and this fucking blow-up doll is in your closet still. Christ. Well, he actually did go in there and have a good match. I mean, it actually was a good match if you really think about it. The part where he had to hold the doll's arm out and control whether he tapped or got the rope or not was very impressive. It was very impressive how he pretended like the doll weighed more than a little bit, more than fucking half a pound. Like, what the fuck, man? Oh, the part where the guy dressed in all black threw the doll off the thing, he worked a really good match. I mean, the idea is if you work, you could work with a broomstick, Brian. That's what he's saying about Orton and Hendry. That's how low. That's what Dave thinks about Hendry and Orton. That's how out of touch he is. That's how low he thinks of wrestling fans and WWE fans and shit. Meanwhile, there's literal studies that have come out saying WWE fans are the smartest sports fans in general. And Dave's like, oh, they're fucking retards in trailer parks who can't afford shit. Fuck them. I mean, this blow-up doll match was all. I played toys in the match I had in my WWE my WWE ring that I had with my retro toys. I got them from Walmart. That match was way better, Brian. So yeah. So this guy goes, OJ Simpson is innocent then. And then Dave Meltzer goes, if you listen to history, they WWE did try to sign him for a Mania. If you listen to history. Wow, Dave. If you listened to history, what a schmarmy prick thing to say, and he doesn't get why people hate him. And that's a little serve up there to this next part because Dave wasn't listening to history, and we're about to prove it. So I tweet out, I love how Dave didn't even know about the AAA deal while spending the last year glazing Lucha Libre, which is the funniest thing. We've chronicled it here. Well, Lucha Libre draws the most casuals, if you want to talk about who's the best. And then now he knows every detail about these deals, right? And so El Rico says, Dave, did any other company have a shot at signing the AAA performers that signed with WWE? Or did WWE have an exclusive period, or were they all free agents? First off, not even hating, but bruv, were all the AAA performers free agents? What the fuck are you talking about? They just bought the company. Does nobody understand how if I go and buy a company, I absorb all their contracts and shit? Like, what do people not understand this shit? Why would you even waste your time asking Dave this? But he goes, most, if not all, were under contract to AAA. No shit. El Rico continues and says, so they're just signing new deals, so they are under the WWE banner. And was Del Rio parts of that group that signed a WWE deal? And Meltzer says, yes, new contracts. Alberto has signed with WWE.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Okay, well, let's look into it because, again, let me look into these here. I'm going to read you guys a not allegedly, and I'm going to read you verbatim.
Allegedly.
Okay, so from what Conan has said on K100, so this isn't unallegedly. This is just what Conan, the guy who books AAA, has to say. Alberto is contracted with AAA through till just after Triple Mania, so no official decisions have been made yet about him. And then allegedly, Husey says, my guess is they use him in AAA until he's done, and then that might be it. So that's Husey throwing that part out there. Conan said it on K100, okay? So this isn't even a fucking allegedly. So Dave is wrong, according to Conan. I'm going to trust Conan. That's all I'm saying. Conan's also said that there's going to be another announcement on the day of World's End / Money in the Bank. And we don't know if it's got to do with AAA or New Japan, or if it's like, hey, we're working with Japan as well, or what the fuck's going on there. But there will be another major announcement. Look out for that. And I'll let y'all know. In contrast, okay, now again, your boy Phil was right about the goddamn AAA deal. I was shouting it, hey, it's going to be a Fuego summer. I was hyping this whole Lucha thing up for a while. Okay, again, I read this message earlier in the show. I'm going to read it again. This is a message, okay? And it goes like this: thank you, or was part of them buying AAA. The company has been losing money each year until this last year, Alberto being their heel champion. Mexico never has a heel be champ for an extended time, but it worked. WWE was looking at CMLL to buy CMLL, but Alberto had become a producer and agent for AAA and help with other matches too. So he'll probably just work backstage more and shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll wrestle, but he's not going to be a fucking guy that's like crossing over on Raw and stuff, at least in my opinion. And also, I bring that to you because it just seems like, I don't know, this sort of lends some validity to maybe WWE is putting him under a new deal. From Conan, no decisions have been made. I'm willing to trust that. He's the guy. He fucking knows him. What do you mean? You know, he books the shows. He said it on K100. Go listen to that. And yeah, I'm going to go with that. So if Dave Meltzer studied and learned history, he'd know that the booker didn't say that, said the opposite. Right? And so Seth Rollins says Alberto's father is Mil Mascaras. Wasn't he originally fired for sexual misconduct and other things? YouTube, sorry, I don't like saying boo-boo words, but we got to. Alberto's father is Dos Caras. Yeah. Want to make clear, I don't expect Alberto on WWE regular television. They're signing talent from AAA and for AAA. Yeah, and you absorb all the deals. So maybe WWE re-upped him, or they can confirm, like, well, no, he signed with them because they fucking absorbed the deals. You know what I mean? I don't know how else. That's the way that it makes sense to me. So yeah, Dave, if you studied and learned history and weren't afraid of the Wagyu beef businesses, Brian, you'd know this. You'd listen to K100 and study history. Yeah, and I wrote that. If Dave Meltzer learned and studied history, he'd know that K100 this week. Conan said this. Don't be afraid to study and learn history and Wagyu beef. Neckbeards posts this per Lucha blog. WWE has not given Alberto a new contract. AAA signed him when they decided to build the promotion around him over the past year. Oh, so there you fucking go. It's just absorbing the contract, like your boy said. Like we can fucking confirm too. Well, I'm not trying to confirm shit. This ain't news overhead now. Okay? But I was on this shit before anybody. You got to trust what I'm saying here. Over the past year, and WWE will inherit that contract when they take over the company. Apparently, it's going to take 2 to 5 months, guys. 2 to 5 months, and then they'll have everything absorbed. It's the same thing UFC did, right? They wanted Quinton Rampage Jackson out of Pride Fighting Championship. They bought Pride. Jackson was out of his contract. He went to America. He went and fought for the WFA, the World Fighting Alliance, right? So what did UFC do? They fucking bought the WFA to absorb the contracts of Lyoto Machida and Quinton Rampage Jackson and a few other guys. They just bought the company because then they absorbed those contracts. Now, you have to honor those fucking deals. So Dave is like, oh, no, they absorbed the deals. Like Dave doesn't know shit if you studied and learned business. He doesn't even know like basic business shit works and how this stuff works in the entertainment world. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, they signed him when they decided to build the promotion around him. And WWE will inherit the contract. Dave, caught lying again, doesn't study Wagyu beef, doesn't study McDonald's, doesn't study the fucking movie, TV, Max businesses, doesn't study the Nielsen ratings, doesn't do his flute studies or he'd avoid all this. He doesn't study AAA, even though he's been fucking blowing Mexican wrestling for the last how long have we been covering it on the show where he's like, oh, Mexico brings. Imagine if they had bought his precious CMLL. If I have to make a prediction right now, I don't know if they'll announce like New Japan. I don't know if it'll be that big of an announcement at the Worlds Collide. I think they'd save that for like a bigger WWE PLE and sort of do it the same way they did with like over Mania weekend, maybe SummerSlam. You announce something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they announce like a tournament or something like, or we're going to create a new title, or here's NXT Mexico, but it's the developmental. Like everyone's like, oh, they're going to turn AAA into NXT Mexico. That's fucking fake, bro. They're not going to do that. Again, that's fake news for fucking idiots. They might create NXT Mexico, right? But you have North American champions like Mexico. That encompasses Mexico as well. So we need to understand these things here. And if Dave studied his geography and the Wagyu beef business, he'd probably know that. But yeah, Dave holding tremendous L's, and Wednesday's going to be another hilarious one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week.